So IEEs, that's what we're gonna be talking about. And obviously, I promised IEE and I'm fucking delivering IEE. So let's go. So IEEs, I find them interesting because there's actually different ways of how they manifest. And that's why I find interesting in them. Some types are almost like one-dimensional in how they manifest, but not IEEs. I've seen IEEs that are goofy and like manic pixie girl, woo, I'm flying. And also I've seen IEEs that are more pragmatic and more interested in novel ideas and pursuing them in their career. So I've seen all sorts of different IEEs and how they manifest. That's what makes them so fucking interesting. Not one-dimensional. So let's get into it. NE base. As I said, the whole manic pixie girl is not completely inaccurate, but it depends on the individual. So they're very novelty-seeking individuals, very great at coming up with ideas, great at working multiple projects. Those are the kinds of individuals that might start a project, might never fucking finish it because new idea. Oh shit! Oh shit! They are able to connect different concepts across different subjects, so they are able to create something from it. Obviously, novelty seeking. They don't want to be tied down to one singular ideology. So don't expect those people, those IEEs, to kind of have one ideology that they're following like their fucking religion. That's not gonna happen. They want to really see what makes sense, what's actually pragmatic, but they also kind of don't want to be tied down by one singular vision of things or one single ideology. So they're very open, very extremely open and curious individuals because of that. So very good at coming up with options, and they want the options to be there for them, right? Not to be tied down by different projects. I mean, I've known IEs who are great at programming. I've known IEs that are great at socializing, understanding people. So it's theirs. They vary so much, and all of them have this innate ability to just be able to create things, to come up with things, like possible endeavors in their career. Very great at that. Might not fucking work, but they'll just get into it. Very impulsive in that sense too. All about the way of ideas. So then we have creative FI. So creative FI, in the manifest that they came, I've known IEs that are extremely good at understanding the psychological distance with people. They can be extremely attached to individuals. They want to get to know people on a deeper level, um, and build that connection, friendships, and all of that, intimate relationships. They're very focused on that, and I've seen them be great at analyzing people, like great at understanding really what motivates people or how people come off and why they might come off that way. So they have honestly a very good insight into people's psyche. So that's kind of the whole FI. Great at psychological distance. I've known some IEs that maybe are more detached, don't want people to get too close to them, but they all value their personal relations. Okay, so remember that. I'm very good at kind of knowing. Also, their likes and dislikes, they can be quite moral at times, but don't let that mislead you. I've known IEIs who are not exactly going with the morality of society, so not necessarily. Okay, don't be thinking that they're all fucking moral. That's not the case. But it's subjective. Remember that it is subjective. So things that they might like or not like, they might have strong reactions, appropriate or inappropriate behavior that they deem inappropriate. Okay, not society. So remember that. Okay, because they're often ENFPs and MBTI, which is like FI, right? So they don't give a fuck about the values of the group and the society. That does check out. So let's go further. Let's see what's next. ENFPs. Where the fuck are you, ENFPs? So then we have role SE. Not much to say here, other than they're not completely retarded when it comes to use of SE. It's sloppy. They might try to get better at it, but it's not something that they value. Okay, they don't go around valuing forcefulness and power dynamics. Not really. They're focused. Their focus. So role kind of sloppy as fuck. Then we have polar, right? And and the polar TI, how it manifests is very interesting. Seen different manifestations. Okay, the whole archetype of the anti-authority, like anti-government, anti like the rebellion, like anarchy, and that is actually I've seen many IEs engage in that thinking process, in that kind of it's not even it's not like an ideology, but they don't care about the whole laws and rules that society kind of throws at us, social norms and shit. And many of them that are more like pragmatic and or more logic on the logical side, they might actually be extremely anti-government, anti like establishment and shit. That's because of TI. TI doesn't want to be like put in a box. It doesn't want to be restrained, contained in some fucking box. It wants to have freedom, so they can be libertarians that believe in freedom of people and not being extremely rigid in how the world should work. So remember that. Another manifestation is that they can be extremely impulsive and lead chaotic lives. Not all of them. Some of them are more disciplined, but there's a pattern that TI can lead to a chaotic, undisciplined life, lack of commitment, not sticking through, maybe starting project and being confused and just starting new ones and not really sticking to one singular path. That can be TI, polar. Um, very can be very unstructured. It can be very random because the lack of T, it's all fucking NE and TE, so it's not. It can be extremely random rather than just like very categorized and systematic. They don't really look at people that way. They don't look at people as a bunch of fucking categories and systems. It's not like that. They look at people through a personal lens of their maybe beliefs, their morals, their feelings, and their understanding of people, while in conjunction with pragmatism and what actually works for the betterment of society, for example, but not some systematic shit. So that's TI. Let's go next. Let's see what's fucking next, boys. Then we have SI suggestive. Wait, did I fucking read that correctly? So it's SI suggestive, of course. Yeah, SLI dual, right? I was caught off guard about that there for a sec. I'm like, what the fuck? They have fucking SI suggestive? I didn't know that. I mean, as in I did know that, but I fucking forgot. Man, I'm sorry, but SI suggestive, their duals is SLI makes sense, right? So they seek this stability, this comfort. They seek this kind of because they're so scattered and they're everywhere. They kind of want someone to calm them down, give them the sense of understanding of their own bodies, or give them a routine, give them comfort and all of that shit. Provide for them the basic necessities because they can be quite sloppy in producing that comfortable environment for themselves. So that's kind of how it's going to manifest. And then we have TE mobilizing. So TE mobilizing, I've seen some IEs who seem completely fucking scattered all over the place, dream pixie girls who make barely any fucking sense. And I've seen IEs who are extremely can be seen as very pragmatic individuals, programmers, people who are very have various interests. I've known one IE guy who's my friend, and he was very honestly a smart guy who was interested in different various political problems and history, knew a lot about history, and was very focused on just pragmatism and what works, what actually would work for society, not some ideological crap. So down, almost like a down to earth mentality, and mobilizing would make it seem like he's more of a logical type. So he would be kind of that TE would go crazy. So they can almost seem like logical types. Some of the male ones can seem like logical types, so don't confuse it with like ILE and shit. And it's still sloppy. Okay, mobilizing might be bold, it might be in your face, they might try harder, but it's still sloppy use of TE. So remember that. Okay, let's see. Let's make this video fucking shorter. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ignoring NI again. They're not. They don't want to be focused on one vision. They don't want them to be focused on one linear way of going about things. So that's not gonna happen. So NI ignoring, they prioritize any. Obviously, they want to have the open scope because that's in their. They believe because they have the open scope, they can understand things better than some like NI value, because they think we, Esli, um, are almost narrow-minded, and we forget all the new ones and more important things, and they don't. So that's what they believe. So that's NI ignoring. And then, of course, we have demo, and demo, the last one is going to be a fee, and how it's going to manifest. They can be very expressive individuals, very good at creating the emotional atmosphere, go with the flow of the emotional atmosphere. Light-hearted, playful individuals who can be quite animated and expressing their emotions when they're in that environment. But don't let that mislead you. They can banter, they can have fun, but they still. Many of them are very deeply closed off when it comes to their own feelings and attachments because FI values. So don't let that mislead you. They still value that attachment. They might not be spilling of their all of their emotions because they don't value it. They don't value going around. I feel like shit. I feel like shit. Oh my god, fucking please help me. They're not that way. They might banter. They might laugh. They might express all the fucking serious emotions and intensity. But at the end of the day, they don't. They value FI. They value their emotions being close to their heart. Okay, so that's it. IE. There it goes. So, also, don't forget their Delta Quadra. So pragmatic, down to earth, stable, comfort seeking. Um, the old people of Quadras. Okay, no, no offense, but yeah, that's it. That's it. IE for you.